Hi guys, today I'm going to be trying on the limited edition. It's the Bobbi Brown Day and Light palette. This palette has 8 shades. There are 4 mattes and there are 4 metallics. This is a really beautiful pink neutral soft eye palette. I also reviewed the Bobbi Brown the Jadestone one and I've already done a video on that. And I have tried this on a couple of times and I think this is really pretty. You're not going to get those bold, punchy colours. That's not what this palette is about. They're for very soft, ethereal, everyday looks. I think it's really, really pretty. If you love that soft look, you are really going to like this palette. It's on sale for $39 US, and there's a few different places that are selling this, and some of those places may even have sales on, so you could possibly even get it cheaper. So I will link in the description box below the places that do have this palette for sale. Now this is made in the USA. As I was saying, it has 8 shades, 4 mattes and 4 metallics, and the outside of the packaging is again sort of like the Jadestone one, although this has the pink on the cover, but when you turn it, it has a holographic look. Now, unlike the Jadestone one, this one came absolutely intact because my Jadestone palette came broken. There are a couple of shades that were really messy and all over the place. So it is the same type of plastic packaging as the Jadestone one. I don't think it feels too flimsy. I think it is a fairly robust palette. It feels quite heavy in the hand. As usual, there is a fairly generous size mirror inside. And here is the colour story of the Day and Light. So as you can see, it's very soft. It has that deep, beautiful brown shade in there, but I think this is a really gorgeous palette, really pretty colour story. And because it's now spring here in New Zealand, this colour story is even more perfect. So I am going to swatch these on my arm. I'm not sure how well they will show up on my skin tone on my arm. These are really pretty on the eye though, but I'll give it a try and see how they look. So this is a matte shade and this is the colour Bone. The next is a matte as well, and this is called Antique Rose. Then we have a metallic. It's quite a soft metallic, and this is Opalescent Pink. And this is another metallic, and this is called Gold Bar. And then we have the second row, and this one's called Showstopper. It's a metallic. This one is a metallic as well, and this is called Pink Quartz. And then we have the colour Taupe, and that's a matte. And then this beautiful smoky brown colour, and that is a matte as well. So I've already got my foundation on, and I'm wearing the Bobbi Brown. It's the Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. And this is in the shade N042 in beige. I will have everything listed in the description box below. The bronzer is a Bobbi Brown one. This is in medium. And the powder that I'm wearing today, I don't have a Bobbi Brown one, so I'm using the Hourglass Veil one. And for my concealer today, I'm wearing the brand new, it's the Chanel Sublimage one. I picked this up the other day and I've done a video on this, and I said I would wear it throughout the week to see how it wears, so I'm wearing it today as well, but I am really loving it. But I will put the link up to that video right here if you want to take a look. So I'm going to do 2 eye looks using this palette. The first one I'm going to use the deep brown shade, and in the second look I'm not going to use that deeper shade. It gives a really beautiful, almost no makeup, but a really gorgeous soft look. When I didn't use the brown shade, that was the first time I tried this palette, and I thought it was really lovely. And I do have to go out today, so I think out of the 2 looks, the second one is my favourite. But we'll start off with the shade Bone, and this is a matte colour. This is the Sonia G, the classic crease brush. This is the one that I picked up probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, this brush. I have a lot of Sonia G brushes, but I tend to use this one nearly all the time now. It's really, really lovely. So this is quite a light shade, and I'm just going to put this all over the lid and take it up over my crease and up through just under the eyebrow here. Then I'm going to take the Sony G, the Mini Booster, and I'm going to go into this taupe shade here. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan, not a lot, not as much as, say, Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. They have quite a lot of kick up, but there is just a little bit. That doesn't really bother me though. These are really lovely shades. I think for the price, these palettes are really lovely. As I was saying, the Jadestone one has those beautiful greens in it. That is a gorgeous palette, and that definitely is a lot more punchier. This is just a very, very soft palette, but I think it's really, really pretty. So I'm just going to go in there just one more time. Let's pick up a little bit more shadow. These are soft colours, but you can build them up. I find that they are buildable. And like me, there are a lot of people out there that just love a really soft, neutral eye look. And I love the pinks in this palette too. They're just really, really soft. Then I'm going to stay with the taupe shade. And I'm just going to take the Rapha number 3. And I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. I will be using a darker matte shade as well. But I just want to start off with this. Just to keep the eye look really soft. Then I'm going to take the Rapha number 14. And I'm going to go into the dark brown shade here, the one called Smoky Brown. This is a matte, and like I normally do, I'm going to put this on the outer corner, put most of the pigment there. I will sweep the excess just across the lid as well, just towards the center. I'm going to put some in the crease, and I'm going to just take this just slightly above the crease as well. Then I'm going to go back to the Rapha 3 and just stay with this dark brown shade and just add that to the lower lash line as well. Then I'm going to take the Sony G, this is the flat definer, and I'm going to go into the shade here. This is the one Opalescent Pink, and I'm going to put this just over the rest of my lid, just into the center. And just take a little bit through here as well, just to lighten it all up. And then I'm going to go into the shade Pink Quartz. This is a BK Beauty brush. This is the 204. And I just want to add that shade, just my lower lash line, just through here till it meets up with the matte eyeshadow that I put on. And I'll put some of this in the inner corner as well. And then I think I'll just take the Sony G, the soft definer, and I just want to go back into this shade here. And I'm just going to add a little bit more to the lower lash line, just to buff it out a little bit and just give a little bit more depth there. And then to line my eyes, I'm just going to take the Chukuhodo. This is the F08. And I'm just going to dip it into that darkest brown shade. I like using brown eyeshadows or even black ones to line my eyes. I think sometimes it helps keep the look quite soft instead of going for an eyeliner. And it's also easier to remove at the end of the day. So I'm just going to take the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And now that I've got the powder on the brush, just give this a spray. And then just go into my upper lash line just to give some definition. So here is the finished eye look. I think this is really pretty, neutral, natural, just enhances your looks. No, there aren't any major punches of colour, but this is really super pretty, and I found this really easy to blend as well. So now I'm going to wash off this eye makeup, and then I'll be back and we'll do look number 2. I've wiped down my brushes on the microfiber cloth that I have in front of me, so now I'm going to do the second look. I'm only going to use this darker shade here. This is the one Smoky Brown, to define my upper lash line and possibly put a little bit on the lower lash line as well. But all the rest, I'm just going to probably use these two mattes here and then I'll think which metallic shade I'm going to use as well. So this is a very soft look, but as I was saying earlier, I did this look the other day and I thought it was really, really lovely. So I'm going to take the Sonia G, the classic crease brush, and I'm going to go into this shade here. The shade names are on the back. This one is called Antique Rose, and I'm going to put this all over the lid and take it right up as well. So I'm going to dip into it again just to build the shade up a little bit. This is very soft, this look. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the mini booster, and I'm going to go into this taupe shade here. And I don't know whether I mentioned earlier in the video, but I do in my other videos, that I am wearing eyeshadow primer. I really have to. I have oily skin, I have oily eyelids, and there's no eyeshadow that will last unless I put a primer on. So I'm just going to put the taupe through the crease here. I am going to put some on the outer corner as well, but this isn't a very deep shade, but it's enough to give a little bit of definition. Then I'll keep using the same brush and the same shade. I'm now going to put this on the outer corner. It's a really lovely, beautiful taupe shade. And these are blending really, really beautifully. So it's just enough. I'm just going back in to build it up a little bit. It's just enough to give sort of a hint of depth, but it just keeps everything just really soft without putting that smoky brown in the outer corner. Then I'm going to use the Sonia G, this is the pencil one, and I'm still going to stay with this shade here, and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line. I will a bit later also add a touch of the smoky brown shade as well. So I'm going to take the Rapha number 2 brush, and I'm going to go into Pink Quartz, and I'm going to put this over the rest of my lid, just through here. It just lifts the look a little bit, and I think it's really, really pretty, this shade. And then I'm just going to use the same shade. This is the Rapha number 3. I'm going to put a little bit of this just on my lower lash line as well, just through here. And then using the same brush, now I'm going to go into this deeper shade, the smoky brown. This is the matte one, and I'm just going to put just a little bit on the lower lash line. I'm actually going quite lightly with the brush. I just want to give a little bit of definition, just a hint. I don't really want a thick dark line there. And then again, just like the other eye look, I've got the smoky brown shade on my Tukahoto brush and the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush flawless finish spray, and just spray the brush. And I'm going to use this just to give definition to my upper lash line. So that is eye look number 2 done. So this is really soft, really pretty. I'm going to go out soon, just down to the local shops, and this is just perfect. I think this is really lovely, really beautiful, soft, ethereal look. So now I'm going to put on some blush, and I'm going to use one of the eyeshadows from this palette. I did this the other day and I thought it was gorgeous. So I'm going to use this matte shade here, and this is the one Antique Rose. This is a Tukahoto brush. This is the F03, and it picks up pigment really well for the blush, and I just thought it looked really lovely the other day when I used it as a blush. It's a really beautiful soft colour. And I'm also going to put on a bit of highlighter as well as using this palette. So I'm going to use the same shade that I used in here, and that is Pink Quartz. And again, I used this the other day and I thought it was really lovely. So I just want a hint of a highlight. It's really beautiful as a highlighter, and I'm tending to do this a little bit more now. If the palettes that I'm using has a metallic or shim shade, I am using them as a highlight when I remember to, and I think it's really, really lovely, and it gives a really beautiful highlight. And I think the blush and this metallic shade together, I think, are really lovely. And for lipstick, I'm not going to use a Bobbi Brown one today. I'm going to use a Chanel. This is the Cocoa Flash, and I finally picked up the shade Easy, and it's absolutely a beautiful shade. I don't know why I didn't pick this up earlier. So that's the one I'm going to use today. So I think the finished look is really pretty. This is really soft, as they say on the description on the Bobbi Brown website. It is to give ethereal looks, this palette, as well as your everyday neutral looks as well, and I think it does. I think this is a really beautiful, soft, everyday look, and I love the shade through here, and also what I used as a highlighter. I think it is absolutely gorgeous and does give that ethereal look. These shadows are really great to blend. I think they're super easy to make eye looks with. As I was saying earlier in the video, there is a little bit of kick up in the pan, but nothing major. These blend well. They last really well, these shadows too. I've said it before, but I just love Bobbi Brown eyeshadows. They are the master of just chic, everyday, beautiful, soft looks. And this palette is absolutely gorgeous, and for the price point I also think this would make a really lovely gift for the holidays as well. So there's 2 or 3 shades that I didn't use today. I didn't use this one here, and I didn't touch this one down here either, just kept to these ones through here. But there are a lot of different looks you can make with what seems like on the face of it quite a simple palette. But I just think it's really, really lovely. And it's also a really versatile palette too, when it's one that you can use for a blush and highlight. I did this the other day and this lasted really well too. Just overall a really gorgeous palette. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye.